entry concept of accounts. I think you have done few, you have taken few lessons in school also, but I'll start with double entry concept and let us start across. Suppose Mr. X started a business. Mr. X started a business with rupees 5 lakhs. Mr. X started a business with rupees 5 lakhs. Now what happens that from business point of view, since it is a transaction, accountant of the business has to record it. Accountant of the business has to record it. How does he record that? He starts thinking that what are the two aspects or two accounts involved in it. One is definitely cash, and another one is it is a liability to Mr. X. Why the accountant has thought of like this? Because Mr. X has started a business with rupees 5 lakh. As soon as a business is started, proprietor or owner Mr. X is different from business according to separate accounting entity concept. Business accounting is going to record transactions. That means the event which has changed the financial position from the business point of view only, and accordingly he has thought of that cash of rupees 5 lakh has come. Therefore, cash is one aspect, and it is a liability to Mr. X, because if the business is dissolved on the very next day, this money is to be given back to whom? To Mr. X. If the business is dissolved for 100 years, this money is to be given back to whom? To the family members of Mr. X. Therefore, it is a permanent liability to Mr. X. But right now, we can use this cash 5 lakh rupees for business purposes. Therefore, we can call it an asset. So asset is equal to liability to Mr. X. This is otherwise known as internal liability. Internal liability. Artificial person, Mr. X is natural person. Now, from business point of view, this 5 lakh rupees given by Mr. X has changed the financial position. Therefore, it is a transaction. If it is a transaction, then it is to be recorded in the books. While recording, we follow double entry concept. That means for every transaction, we find out two accounts or two aspects of it. So here, after analyzing, the accountant finds that one aspect is cash, and equally it is a liability to Mr. X. Cash is termed as asset of the business, because business will be utilizing this for converting cash for various uses. And why it is a liability to Mr. X? Because if the business is dissolved after 1 day or it dissolves after many years, if this much money has to be given back to Mr. X or Mr. X's family, whoever. So therefore, cash is equal to liability to Mr. X, or asset is equal to internal liability, or we can say asset is equal to capital. Therefore, from today, right at this point of time, we understand that capital is nothing but contribution by the owner to start the business, and also It is an internal liability from business, always a defined asset, because you can convert it for many various purposes. You can buy goods, you can buy other assets, you can spend money for electricity, then whatever. So this is a defined asset. So one aspect is business is getting an asset. So accountant of the business is finding that, okay, one asset I have got, that is cash. So he is writing one side asset. But what about the other side? So he thinks that, okay, is this my asset for ever? No. If the business is closed on the very next day, this is to be given back to Mr. X. If the business is closed after 10, 12, 50 years, 60 years, then also it is to be given to someone of Mr. X's family. Therefore, it is a liability. There lies the starting point of accounts. That for one transaction, we have two aspects. One, in this case, one asset and one liability to Mr. X. Next day, suppose it was thought that no, 5 lakh rupees was not sufficient. Let us take some loan from some outsider, not from Mr. X, because Mr. X does not have that much money. So they approached Y. Y agreed to give loan. So Mr. Y is giving loan. Loan meaning later on it is to be given back. Maybe short-term loan, maybe long-term loan, maybe loan for 6 months, maybe loan for 18 months, 24 months, but it is to be given back. And he is definitely not the owner of the business. Therefore, he has also given loan of rupees, he has given cash of rupees 2 lakhs. So again, there is an increase in the asset. That means cash is increasing, so asset is increasing. So together, total asset in the position of business is now 7 lakh. Income are different. Revenue meaning whatever goods you have bought, you sell goods, you get revenue. If you earn commission, you get revenue. If you earn rent, you get revenue. But profit comes with the difference between revenue and expenses. The revenue minus expense is known as income. That's why I have not written income or loss like that. I have written here revenue minus expenses, because I wanted to give you the concept of revenue first. Thereafter, profit, whatever. But revenue and expense must be clear. When you buy certain goods, when you spend for electricity, rent, salary, these are all expenses because the benefit will be exhausted within one accounting year. But when you sell such goods or sell your services, or like giving room on rental basis, then you earn revenue. That is popularly or common mistake is that everyone call it income. Income is not this. Income is the difference between revenue and expenses. Isn't it? Particulars. Then F, ledger folio. Folio meaning page number. This will be explained when we do ledger. Ledger folio, right now this is not required. Then amount, rupees, on top, debit, credit, and top heading will be in the books of say Mr. X journal. This is the format: date, particulars, LF, debit, and credit. I'll take one transaction. I'll explain how to record it within this format. Say we buy furniture for cash. So furniture for cash is, first of all, you have to think to become an accountant that whatever the event has taken place, for this one event, whether your financial position is changing or not. Furniture has been bought for rupees 30,000. Is it changing your financial position? Yes, because you bought furniture and you paid cash. Therefore, it has changed your financial position. Now, according to rules of debit and credit, we'll try to match the two sides of it. One is definitely furniture account, and one is cash account. Let me understand that furniture account will be debit or furniture account will be credit, or cash account will be debit or cash account will be credit. Let me put it here. Furniture. Is furniture my revenue? No. Is furniture my capital? No. Is furniture my outside liability? No. Is furniture my expense and losses? No. Because the benefit will last for long time. Therefore, furniture is my asset. And the rule states that any increase in asset will be debit. Therefore, furniture will be debit because it has increased in the business. Now, cash. Cash is your revenue? No. Cash is capital? No. Cash is outside liability? No. Cash is expense? No. Cash is asset. Therefore, according to rules for debit and credit of asset, we find that any decrease in the asset is credit. As because you got furniture, you have to pay cash, therefore it is decreasing asset. Therefore, cash account should be credit. How do we write this in this journal format? Say month is, say year is 2018, April 2nd. We write first debit item, furniture account, then debit, and cash account. We don't write credit, but before cash account we write 2. That is a convention that if you write any before any account 2, it means it is credit. Furniture debit the amount will go to debit column 30,000, and cash credit amount will go to credit column 30,000. Because for one transaction you cannot have two dissimilar amount. One same amount will be there for debit and credit. So journal is nothing but the primary book of record as and when a transaction takes place. That is, furniture purchased for cash is a transaction, it has taken place. You have to identify whether it is a transaction or not. Yes, it is a transaction. Why it is a transaction? Because it has changed your monetary position. Then you have to identify two aspects in it. One, I got furniture, one, I got cash. Then you have to try to match it over here, and we find that both aspects are affecting assets only. One is increasing, that is why we call it debit, and one is decreasing, that is why we call it credit. Therefore, furniture account debit to cash 30,000, we record in this manner. And for anybody non-commerce student, say student of science or arts, what they cannot understand what is the meaning of furniture account debit to cash account. For them, we give one brief explanation of the transaction, starting with being BEING or for furniture purchase. Furniture purchased for cash.